Good morning. It is the day before my carnivore challenge. My carnivore starts tomorrow. So here's a few things I've done to get prepared for this challenge for this July, definitely July. I'm going to try to do it through August and see how things go. The first thing I did, I've signed up for a step bet. If you've never heard of Step Bet before, it's an app that you can download to track your steps. It syncs in with your fitness app on your phone. If you have a wearable, that is the best thing to do. Otherwise, you have to have your phone with you all the time. But it takes the information that you have done in the past and it keeps challenging you. And it's been great. It's been a great motivator to get me keep going and to get my steps in, whatever my goals are. First off, it's amazing because you pay $40 to join, to be a part of one of the groups. And as long as you've met your goals, you're going to get that money back and possibly some more, depending on people who didn't meet theirs. So if you don't meet your goals, you lose the $40. And they're usually 6 weeks long. So it's been a great motivator for me because there's been days I just don't feel like doing, I'm tired. And then I'll look at my progress and be like, oh, I only have another 1,000 steps to get in for the day. I'm going to just keep walking and get these 1,000 steps in so then I can be done because I don't want to have to lose my $40. They do give you one day off a week. So, and I don't want to use that as my day off because I planned another day off, usually around a family event that I know there's going to be a lot of sitting going on. So I've signed up for another one of those to keep me moving. Another thing, one of the things, choosing something hard that's hard to give up. Some options I was going through were artificial sweeteners, coffee, cheese, dairy, or just sticking to strict carnivore. Since I've been keto for a while, I don't think it's going to be too difficult for me to stick to carnivore. I don't add any artificial sweeteners, but I have found different products. They keep sneaking different artificial sweeteners in. So I'm being more cautious of that and going to be trying to eliminate artificial sweeteners. Coffee, as much as I love coffee, I've gone weeks at a time, especially during the summer, without drinking any. So that's not something that's hard for me to give up. The hardest thing is probably going to be the sweeteners and staying away from anything that has those artificial sweeteners in. So that's what I've chose for my hard. And then the first week, in order to kick everything off, I just said I'm going to do a 3-day challenge. I haven't decided yet. I think I'm going to try, there's this sardine challenge going on, 3-day sardine challenge. Some people call it a sardine fast, which it's not a fast because you're able to eat. So I'm going back and forth between a sardine challenge for 3 days where I'm only eating sardines and water, or a strict water fast. I mean, if I try the sardines, it'll probably end up being a water fast. I don't know. I've never had sardines, but I'm not a fish lover. So I'm kind of assuming I'm just going to start with a 3-day water fast. And I'm going to be tracking my calories just to see where they're at, what I'm eating. Am I overeating? I don't track on a regular basis, but I do occasionally, especially for the challenges, because it's easy to look at something. So I'm going to be weighing my foods and making sure my portions are correct and what I think they are. And I usually try to guess what they are before I put them on the scale. And then one of the things, I'm going to try to be tracking any type of emotional eating. I have a notebook. I'm going to plan on writing these things down because that's usually what gets me. And I need to figure out, like, what is it that keeps setting me off? Because I usually go on a binge and I'm craving sweets, and I need to figure out what it is that's triggering it. And I know I've had different times where I've gone on a binge and I have eaten something and then afterwards totally regret it. But I'm going to try to be more aware, especially if I don't have anything in the house except for carnivore approved foods. It's going to be a lot easier for me to identify what those triggers are. So I'm planning on keeping a journal and writing those down. All right. And then also one of the big things, especially around the holidays, everyone wants to drink or have a drink. I'm not going to do any alcohol. I'm staying away from all alcohol. I can do carbonated water and a little bit of lemon juice or something if I need something, but I'm staying away from all alcohol for this challenge. I'm not a huge drinker, but I know one drink can ruin my system for a couple days and get me way off track. And then I usually have all kinds of cravings on top of it. And then I've also started incorporating some weight training. So I'm planning on doing weight training 3 to 4 days a week, just to help strengthen my muscles. And another thing that's really important is prioritizing your sleep, getting to bed, getting to sleep, making sure you have a full night's sleep in order for your body to rest and recover. I know a lot of people think I go to bed super early because I will have lights out and I have a reminder on my phone that comes up at like 8:30 at night that, hey, it's time to wind down, trying to shut devices off and be ready for bed. I'm usually in bed by 9, not necessarily sleeping, but in bed by 9. And a lot of people say that, well, that's really early. Like, well, it depends on what you call early, because I'm usually up between 4 and 5 in the morning. So that's early as well. But you still get the same number of hours of sleep if you're going to sleep late or whatnot. But I have all my notifications and everything turn off at 8:30, so I don't have any interruptions, and I communicate that to everyone I work with and everyone on my coaching. I let them know if it's after 8:30 my time, I don't answer. The notifications don't come up, and as I'm winding down, I need to have that time to relax and to get my body ready to go to sleep. And so that's a habit I really suggest having, is to have something to give you an alert that, hey, this is time to shut everything down, and you get into a routine, you fall asleep faster. That's been my experience. My kids, when I make them follow the routine, they get out of it. They're teenagers. They wanted to chat with their friends, and their friends, the notifications don't come through, but they're checking their phones, and sometimes I have to take them away. So that's one thing that has helped me prioritize in a way that I've helped prioritize that. So I'm really excited about this challenge. So tomorrow morning, I'm going to be weighing myself and I'm going to be taking my measurements. Now, if you hate taking measurements, I have found an app that has changed the way I take measurements, because it's been really frustrating at times where I take my measurements on my arms or my legs, and like 1 week it's like, oh, I gained. How did I gain? And the next week, whoa, I lost a lot, and I'm not necessarily measuring the exact same spots. So there is an app, it's called Me 360, and it does a body scan. You turn to the side, it does another body scan. It gives you your measurements. Now, these measurements, when I take them, have been accurate. I've been using it on and off, testing it for the last couple months. I had one scan that after it uploaded, it didn't look right. Something must have been distracting, or the light wasn't right, something. I just retook it. So I deleted that scan and redid the scan, and the measurements were really right on. And I'm looking at going, if I can stand in front of an app, it tells me, it talks to you, tells you how to stand, where to put your arms, and it does this scan. It takes less time than it does for me to do all my measurements, and it has to be way more accurate, because I have had times where like I said, I take my measurements. I must have a different spot on my arm that I was measuring because I lost weight and gained, and then the following time I must have taken it in a different spot, and it was frustrating. So this has taken the frustration out of taking measurements. So I just wanted to give that plug, and it gives you like a 3D view on the app that you can turn and see all sides, and you can compare different measurements after you've had more than one. You can compare the first time, like I can take the first of the month, and I'll be able to take the end of the month, and I'll be able to compare the visual scans of the 360 model, and it'll let me know measurement by measurement if it went up or down. It's been really encouraging, especially a few weeks ago. I had gained weight and I was frustrated. I went to do my scan and I was just like real frustrated. I'm like, oh, okay, where did I gain my weight? All my measurements went down. That's exactly what I needed to help me feel better for the day. So that app it's like my new big thing that I absolutely love as far as making sure I take measurements. It's much simpler than getting the tape out and taking them myself. And it's much more satisfying because it has been more accurate than if I take them. And depending on if I weigh myself and I already like in that bad mindset when I'm taking my measurements, probably not a great thing. So that's my plug. I've loved that app. It's my like new best thing as far as fitness and tracking. I love that app, and you can choose what measurements that you want to be more aware of and have on your main screen. So I'll put a link for that down in the notes. So that is me, what the list of things I've been doing to get ready, to prep, get myself in the right mindset for this carnivore challenge.